right, I'd like to thank everyone for their patience. Welcome to the Tuesday, August 26, 2025, Montgomery Township Board of Education meeting. At this time, I entertain a motion to resume in open session.
So moved. Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to resume the meeting in open session. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same right. Abstentions? Moving on. Please rise as we salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do not have a student representative report today. Superintendent reports and/or presentations. Superintendent McLaughlin.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful summer because it is over for the most part. We welcome our staff back next Tuesday, September 2nd. It's an early start this year. And our students come on Thursday, and we cannot wait for them. Some of our principals have already sent out their welcome back letters to the staff and to the students, and some fun videos. If you have a chance, go on the high school Instagram and watch the video. It's so sweet how they've been so sad waiting for the kids to come back, and they really have been. So we're all excited that school is starting up again. I have one highlight. Every year, the National Association of Music Merchants designates certain school districts across the country with the BCMA designation, which stands for the Best Communities for Music Education. This designation is granted through an application process. Mr. Adam Warshawski was our supervisor of visual and performing arts. He was encouraged by many of his colleagues from across New Jersey to apply, as they are familiar with Montgomery's reputation for excellence in music. We are excited to share that we successfully applied for and received the designation of the Best Communities for Music Education. This is an honor for our music program and our district. The application required significant amounts of information about our staffing, budgets, programs, offerings, schedules, enrollment, performances, events, curriculum, instruction, and more. All of our successes in these areas are a direct result of three things. First, our support of the program received from the Board of Education, administration, and the community. Second is our fantastic faculty who leverage their talents and passions every day on behalf of our students. And third are the amazing students who work hard and dedicate themselves to excellence. So congratulations to us for being designated the best communities for school of music education. And a special thank you to Mr. Adam Warshawski. He's not here tonight, but thank you for all the hard work and diligence you and your staff put into applying for us to receive this significant award. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent McLaughlin. We'll now move to committee representative reports. First up, MTA report, Mr. Rizzoli.
Hello, good evening. The MTEA was busy all summer. Our summer reading program ended up handing out 786 books to 101 students. So that was an awesome thing for our students to be able to access some summer reading if they were in need. We do return next week. MTA is excited to be back. Despite working under an expired contract, our staff will continue to support our students and our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any board member, delegate, or representative reports?
I just wanted to read a brief statement, if okay, with everyone, in regards to. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, go ahead.
In regards to the negotiations, the Montgomery Board of Education values the important work of our educators and remains committed to collective process. Throughout these negotiations, the board has engaged in good faith discussions with MTA in an effort to reach an agreement that is fair, fiscally responsible, and sustainable for all of our students, staff, and community. We recognize that contract negotiations can be complex and that different perspectives are part of the process. The board has made a strong effort to address the key priorities raised at the table. and continues to be guided by our responsibility to balance the needs of our employees with the educational mission we serve. It is important to note that delays in negotiations do not leave teachers without contract. Educators continue to work on the terms of their previous agreement. Our shared goal remains clear: ensuring that the students of Montgomery Township receive the highest quality education in a supportive and respectful environment. We look forward to continuing productive discussions with the MTA and remain hopeful that an agreement will be reached in the near future. Thank you.
Board committee reports. Anything from ACI?
No, we did not meet.
OFF?
The Operations, Facilities and Finance Committee met on August 19th to review ongoing projects, financial updates, and facility planning priorities. The administration is evaluating the feasibility and cost of restructuring Orchard Hill and Village Elementary Schools to implement a K-4 program. Will Ross of Perret Samgen Architects presented an update on the K-4 restructuring, noting that phase 2 of the analysis is underway. Stakeholder meetings are being planned before cost evaluations are finalized. Mr. Ross also provided an update on the long-range facilities plan. Walkthroughs of 4 school buildings are complete, with the final visit scheduled before the start of school. Initial findings highlight significant infrastructure needs at the high school, including HVAC upgrades, roof replacement, and pool wing repairs. The committee also discussed a future referendum to fund major capital projects. November 2027 was identified as the next possible ballot opportunity. The committee reviewed the remaining balance of the 2016 referendum, which stands at $197,000, and requested a detailed accounting of completed projects, expenditures, and outstanding items. Members raised questions about whether the remaining funds could be applied to roof repairs at Orchard. On transportation, Mr. Italiano reported that the district will temporarily lease a bus from Kensington Bus Company at $5,400 per month, with maintenance included, while awaiting delivery of 7 new buses. The lease will be staffed by an existing district driver. The committee also reviewed the auditor's RFP results. 2 bids were received, one for $35,000 from the existing auditor and another for $70,000 from Holman Frenia Allison PC. The difference in the fee quoted relates to the time each firm is committed to dedicate to the audit engagement. While the hourly rates are compatible, the scope of the services differs greatly. The current firm provides primarily financial statement compilation service with limited audit review, whereas the competing firm, HFA, offers a more comprehensive engagement, including internal controls assessment, strategic sampling, and administrative follow-up to strengthen compliance. The existing contract meets minimum state requirements, but does not, in my opinion, deliver the level of assurance and support the district deserves. Based on the information available to me, I strongly recommend the board to support the change of the auditor. The change will not only provide a greater assurance for the board and the community, but the administration would benefit from working closely with the professionals who focus on strengthening internal controls and process improvement. Under old business, Mr. Italiano reported that a draft pool shared services agreement has been circulating for the committee, to the committee for review. Progress on the pilot program remains limited, though legal assistance is being pursued. The committee also reviewed a 3-year comparison of the district's extraordinary aid awards. The district successfully secured $2.7 million this year, an increase of $1.2 million over the prior year, thanks to the diligence of the Special Education Director, Michelle Dreamer, and our business administrator. The work assures that all available state funds were captured to support the district's special education students. The committee expresses great appreciation for their expertise and very thorough application process.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Can I ask a question? When you guys talk about the transportation, I remember earlier this year some kids was wondering whether we can track the bus for the, and is there a formal discussion on this topic when you discuss about transportation?
Right, I don't have a quote right now for that tracking service, so if that's something that we would like to revisit for me to get a quote for, I remember that was at like the winter time and the different students and they had to wait outside. I could talk with our transportation director tomorrow and see if a reasonable quote could be obtained and bring that back to everybody within the next month. Does that sound good?
Thank you.
Excellent, thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, thank you. Anything from PCC?
No meeting.
And HRC as well? Did not meet. We'll now pivot back to Superintendent McLaughlin.
Kind of has to do with HRC. So we have a supervisor who's being appointed tonight, who's here in the audience, and I wanted to introduce her, and Mrs. Michelle Dreamer is here as our director. Do you want to introduce her? Okay.
All right, good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce Ms. Emily Keys as our new Supervisor of Special Services. Ms. Keys holds advanced degrees in educational leadership from Seton Hall University and has extensive certifications including supervisor, principal, and teacher of students with disabilities. She will bring a wealth of experience, having served as supervisor of student services in Ocean Township, as well as in leadership roles in South Plainfield, Newmark, and Hillsborough Township. Throughout her career, she's been dedicated to supporting diverse learners, fostering collaboration among staff, and implementing effective instructional practices. We're very excited to welcome Ms. Keys to our district and look forward to the expertise and passion she brings to supporting our students, families, and staff.
On behalf of the Board of Education, welcome to the district. All right, this time I'll entertain a motion to approve the July 15, 2025 executive session minutes and July 15, 2025 business meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved and second to adopt the executive session and business meeting minutes. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, please. Mr. Caliano?
Dr. Wang?
Yes.
Ms. Dowling?
Yes.
Ms. Spina? Dr. Herman? Ms. Filak?
Yes.
Ms. Harris? Dr. Jernigan?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Todd?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you. At this time, the board acknowledges the correspondence to the board. Action agenda items, public comment. The Board of Education welcomes and encourages input from the public. Members of the public are allotted one opportunity to address the board regarding the action agenda items only for up to a maximum of 3 minutes per speaker. All comments must be directed to the board. Before you make your comment, please state your full name and address and enter both on the Chromebook provided. Being mindful of privacy rights regarding students, board employees, and board members, and to avoid any liability on the part of the speaker, the board discourages defamatory and discourteous remarks. The public comment portions of the meeting are not structured as question and answer sessions, but rather are offered as opportunities for the public to share their thoughts with the board. The board may need to refer an issue to the superintendent if the issue has not been handled through the appropriate chain of command, usually starting at the school level. Responses may be provided at the end of the session. Any public comments for action agenda items? Hearing none, public comments now closed. At this time, I'll entertain a motion on agenda items, action agenda items 1.1 through 4.3.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any questions on the motion?
Have a question?
Yes.
Agenda item is proposed to 2.6. I think it lists the courses that are listed for approval by the board. And it seems like before the summer, we made approvals for the curriculum writing to significantly more courses. So I'm just wondering why the list is so short.
So the board only approves major revisions and new courses. So the new course is AP Seminar, and then the list there is the major revisions. We have a chart, and the amount per hour that staff members get for writing curriculum remains the same, but there's different tiers. And for minor revisions, which just might be, let's say maybe perhaps it was a new course last year and the pacing guide was off. The teachers spent time, a couple of hours over the summer, and they revamped the pacing guide. So as long as no content to the curriculum is changed and it's just minor revisions, they don't get board approved. Only the major revisions and the new courses do.
So like math in LMS or science in LMS and UMS and English, engineering and ITOS in high school. Those courses, even though the curriculum writing was approved, there was no major change to the curriculum.
No major change to the substance of the curriculum. There might have been assessments changed, there might have been pacing changed, rearrangement of things, but nothing substantial.
Thank you.
Can I piggyback on that comments you made? I think for even pacing change, things like that, 2.6 kind of like have a hidden condition here is the board continues with the present. I feel like even with the pacing change or there's a personnel changes for the existing curriculum, it should ask the board to reapproval those courses, right? Is that a hidden condition here for 2.6?
Well, that's never been the practice because there's no substantive change to the curriculum.
So the assumption is there's no major changes, we just carry on.
I guess for me, I remember us approving significant financial impact. And so when I think about it, if we're going to invest in something, it would be good to see what it is that we invested in, right? So I think that's where you're getting at. We're just getting a very high level view, Mary. Maybe we could get a little bit more detailed view as far as how the funds are being allocated across, quite a few other areas that we were looking at. I think that's the ask.
Sure.
Because like financially, we approved over like 57,000, right, for the curriculum writing. And only a few courses are listed, so if you add the cost of those courses, that adds up to a little bit under 20. So there's like 37,000 that was approved for the curriculum writing, so it would be appreciated to kind of share some detail of like what exactly changed to
Because school starts next week and we spent so much money on those courses revision, and to the board it's really like I don't see that what are the changes are, even though you say change for the pacing, but then the pacing shouldn't type so much fun, so I might need more clarification on that.
No, so there's different tiers. I don't have it right in front of me, but perhaps just changing the pacing guide will be just a few hours of work. So all the curriculum you can access at any time. So if you look back at that board agenda and it says whatever the courses were that you were just noting, you could go in Rubicon Atlas and see
I
the
did,
revisions.
so that's why I emailed you. I appreciate that you outlined the revisions for the K-12 literacy curriculum. So from what I understand, this change is focused mainly on the instructional activity and resource organization, like you mentioned, choice boards, activity list, streamlined teacher resources. but do not really update the core literacy program. So I would appreciate more for the summary of those major revisions, and also for the ones that are not listed here, but financial perspective, we approve those. We approve to spend money on those things, you know, but it's just kind of like misaligned for me to say we approve 2.6, but they're not listed here, so I don't feel I have the information here too.
Well, the only thing you're approving tonight are the ones that are listed. You wouldn't be approving the ones that are not here.
Is that something like you said, put in September ACI? Oh, in the list?
Well, the board did not approve any minor revisions. They approved the major revisions, which are the ones that are listed here.
Okay, and as a board member, I also have concerns for the ones that have been approved in the past, and I want to know what's the strategy for that.
I'm not quite sure. You want to know what about what was approved in the past?
I can give some examples. Well, let's stay for the literacy, this one, because I think earlier this year we talked about at the ACI meeting too, is I believe the Lucy Calkins unit of study, that one remains the primary literacy program, and I went to see the website linked to the agenda, and I think it's confirmed it's still the core of the program, literacy program. But for the context, for folks who are not familiar, the unit of study written by Lucy Calkins has been long served at the foundation of our ELA curriculum. But studying actually in 2019 and 2020, there's national conversations about the science of reading have grown significantly. Many professionals actually raised concerns that Lucy Calkins' approach lacks explicit, systematic instruction in line with this research. And parents in our township have also voiced concerns publicly at previous board meetings. I believe some of the board members who've served here for many years probably can record that conversation. And the parents in our township have also voiced these concerns publicly. In response, I think our schools began supplementing with programs such as Haggerty. And I remember Director Fiona talked about that. I think that's really a positive step. But I think Lucy Calkins' unit of study continue to serve as a primary framework for the reading and writing. That's a concern. And also there's some extensive public reporting that questions the effectiveness of the unit study. So for example, there's some podcasting on that from Atlantic. You can search for that. There are some APM reports for that, Educational Week for discussing about that. And also the New Yorker talk about that. This material's really effective for the literacy teaching. So there's a strong belief that this materials is problematic. But if our townships still thinks this is effective and supporting the best practice, then I would think the board need to see more evidence to support this choice. And the board member, as a parent and an educator, I really have concerns of continuing rely on this unit of study as a core program of our literacy instruction. And secondly, I think for the curriculum approval, this is tied to the topic we just talked about. If there's no major revisions, we will not bring up to the board to vote. But then for the correspondence, you can see we received an appealing letter, a group letter, submitted by over 20 higher education faculty members. Their expertise really spans from business, mathematics, science, biology, chemistry, medical, school psychology, and special ed. So this is what they write, and I quote, okay? Several years ago, a key pathway, math pathway, for example, Algebra 2 at grade 8 was removed. The pathway was once provided strong math skills students with robust preparation in algebraic thinking by the end of middle school. Its elimination has created a noticeable ripple effect that is now manifesting in high school science, especially in physics. So, and they go on and say, we cannot simultaneously claim students are strong in math while removing the very structure that develops those strengths. This contradiction suggests a policy misalignment that deserves closer scrutiny. So those faculty also raised concerns about the science offerings.
Dr. Wang,
Yes.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but how does this relate to action item 2.6? Because there's no math provisions on there. There's nothing about math. There's no math in
Our
2.6.
discussion about even there is no major revision, it does not brought to the board to vote. But I think the good thing is, even though there is no major revision, the board should go on to continue, those previous courses.
The board did vote to change physics years ago.
Yeah, but here we can continue to discuss about that, right? Because we received a group letter from the faculty and
But
things
again,
are changing.
this portion of the meeting is for the action agenda items, specifically 2.6. That's the discussion point. There's
I know we're
nothing
talking
to
about
do
the
with math.
literacy.
There's nothing to do with math.
Yeah. We're talking about the literacy, and that's that. We don't have math. Okay, we can save that for the public speaking, for the open, to the end of the discussion. Because right now we're focusing on the literacy, because the literacy is on 2.6. So that's what I want to talk about, is that literacy part. So we can talk about the science and math part from the faculty's appealing letter towards the end of this meeting. Thank you. Okay.
Any other questions on action agenda items?
I have a question on 2.2. I see the two students are approving for ESY at Mercer County Special Services School, and one student is being approved for ESY and regular school year. I see it's only 14,000. Is that the correct amount? For ESY, it's 8,750, and then for the entire year, it's 14,000. I'm just
This looks like, the 14,000, doing it off the top of my head, but looking here, it looks like it's from July 7th to August 8th, and part of it is for the special services tuition, 8750. Part of it's for the one-to-one aid for 5250, and if you add the two up, it's 14,000. I think that's what we're asking the board to do.
And that's just for ESY.
I see that. It's a part of ESY. Okay. And the second question is again, we are sending the student from Montgomery School to South Brunswick Board of Education. It's another private public school. And I was just wondering, is it because they have a special ABA program which we don't have here?
Well, we can't speak about a specific student here.
No. I'm just saying that the program the student is going for South Brunswick, they have a special program which we don't have here. That's why I'm
I can't speak to that right
Not in public session.
But I just wanted to mention that South Brunswick is also a public school.
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
a private out of district.
And
And
we
so
could
we will
accept
get added
students
districts,
here,
yeah.
like if we had a program that other districts wanted to send our students to, on the reverse, we could do the same thing.
And our goal is least restrictive environment. So if we find that there's a student that we do not have a program for, our first look at is other public schools, then other private schools that are public-private schools, and then private schools, right? So there's like this delineation of least restrictive environment. So our first look for out-of-district placements is always other public schools.
I see. Thank you.
Any other questions on action agenda items?
I have a question to agenda item 2.5, and thank you again, Mary, for responding my question. It's for the IDE Corp, that consultant or vendor. So from, here, the funding sources. So Mary clarified the funding sources and scope of the proposed work with IDE Corp. I believe this is important for the board to review the evidence of impact to ensure our investment are producing results. So could you share what longitudinal data from previous years demonstrate the impact of UDL implementation? For example, student academic and behavior outcomes, early indicators of student growth. I believe that we talked about that during the spring ACI meetings. But what I heard was the school administrators are doing some program evaluations. I don't believe the data were shared with the ACI committees, but Michelle can correct me if I'm wrong. I also previously requested benchmark assessment result to review the gross modeling evidence, but that information has not been shared. So without access to such data, I don't feel I have sufficient information to cast informed vote for this agenda item. So I respectfully request the board to be provided with a clear formative measures of impact before moving forward.
I just want to speak to one thing. You mentioned the financial impact. These are paid for with federal funds. I just wanted to clear the record for that.
The federal funds also comes from taxpayers, right? So,
Your request is noted. Any other questions? Hearing none, roll call please, Mr. Italiano.
Dr. Wang?
so I will vote no, 2.5 as I mentioned, and also vote no, 2.6 as I noted.
Yes to the other motions?
Yes to the other motions.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Dowling?
Yes.
Ms. Phelan?
I would like to have more information on ID, so no on 2.5 and yes on the rest.
Noted, thank you. Ms. Jernigan?
I'm gonna say no to 2.6. I do feel like we continue to ask for specific around curriculum and approval, so I would like to see that expanded view, as well as per my colleague on ACI, I will vote no for 2.5 and the rest yes.
I just want to clear out one thing. Initially, you just said 2.6, and then you said 2.5. Which one is it?
It's no on both and the rest
For
yes.
both?
Yeah.
Thank you. Ms. Nargan?
Everything except 2.6.
I want to point something out on 2.5. There's also the American Red Cross lifeguard recertification classes for the teachers on there that they need to be swim instructors at our pool as part of our PE curriculum. There's also Bridgeway PES, which is the behavioral health services based on referrals of the guidance department, which is our suicidal risk assessment team that gets sent out, and the Social Institute for academic support to LMS and UMS on there. So it's not just the IB.
So I have an idea for everybody. If we could maybe consider the things that Ms. McLaughlin said. I believe at the moment in time that the items of concern are the IDE corporations. That's pretty clear. So if we'd all like, I could make a revision at the table in public, and I could strike those two items from 2.5. And we could do this again if the board supports those other items. Kind of look like there's some approval right here. So I'm going to kind of just start from the top again. Dr. Wang, do you approve the change to the agenda that I just said right there?
Yes.
Okay. So
Just for clarification, 2.5, we're striking
the
the
two
lines
ID
for ID.
corporations. Yep. So if I'm going to go back to my notes, Dr. Wang, we're just going to have you striking the two items for 2.5 and 2.6, correct?
Yes.
Noted.
And there's one other thing I just wanted to note. So all of that IDE Corp went through all of our services provided through our grant that's been approved by the state. I just wanted to mention that.
IDEA has been approved, the title grant, that's still like in the works. But yes. Ms. Dowling? Same vote?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm trying to keep track too. Ms. Felix, you approve the agenda with the changes?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Jernigan?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Dargan? Okay. Mr. Todd?
Yes.
And Mr. Todd, I believe that there's a notation that you
Correct.
wanted to make, right?
I will abstain from 2.6.
Thank you. So, okay, so based on that, motion 2.6 does not carry, and 2.5 does carry with the revisions. All the other motions carry. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Italiano. business from the public. The Board of Education welcomes and encourages input from the public. Members of the public are allotted one opportunity to bring any new business to the board for up to a maximum of 3 minutes per speaker. All comments must be directed to the board. Before you make your comment, please state your full name and address and enter both on the Chromebook provided. Being mindful of privacy rights regarding students, board employees, and board members, and to avoid any potential liability on the part of the speaker, the board discourages defamatory and discourteous remarks. The public comment portions of the meeting are not structured as question and answer sessions. The board may need to refer an issue to the superintendent if the issue has not been handled through the appropriate chain of command, usually starting at the school level. Responses may be provided at the end of this session. Any new business from the public?
I just want the board to know that there's a new course that students are registered for that they will be sitting in next Thursday. It's an AP course that there is no curriculum for right now. You're all good with that? Just checking. Yeah? Okay.
Or you can tease out because the discussion was around the literacy. So can you do that agenda revision too?
One of the board members would have to make a motion during,
At the end of the meeting, as Sherry said, you have to walk that back up with the revision.
With the
So,
revision.
after the public comments, if that's something the board wants to consider, I'll help you through.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Fiona Borland, Director of Curriculum. In terms of, in addition to the new course of AP seminar that students are registered for and ready to, excited to take and start, the literacy that you are not approving has been worked on and revised by teachers through the summer. It is the professional development has been planned for it for September. You are talking about only the writing curriculum. That is, the literacy curriculum in a school district and in our K-4 includes word work phonics, so there are separate units for phonics that has been revised. There is reading, which is a separate units that have all been revised, and they have been revised to align with the New Jersey Student Learning Standards. And then this is only the writing department that has now been revised to also align with the New Jersey Student Learning Standards. Everything is aligned to produce the outcomes that we will report out on at the annual assessment presentation. That will be the demonstration of, how our students are doing, and then can be further talked about in ACI. But right now, to not pass this curriculum means that teachers who have been working to revise to make sure that the best curriculum goes in front of our children, who have looked at pacing guides and best practices and done research about teacher lessons, has just been voted down. And I'm just confused.
I think that we should revisit the AP seminar.
Any other comments from the public? Hearing none, the public portion is now closed. We now will revisit 2.6. Do I have a motion for 2.6?
Before we have motion what we exactly what doing, can we have a discussion first? So I think, so go back to the timeline again. I believe earlier this year, I really appreciate our policy committee chair, Ania, who reminded the board that curriculum approvals are recommended in May under the NJSBA guidelines. Beyond this, Ania's contribution at the county level and her work drafting the new board member is really supporting me and helped me a lot. So I believe there's a clear reason why these guidelines recommend the curriculum approval in the spring, right? So then we won't come to this stage, say, school gonna start next week, and the board don't have the approval for this. We don't want this board just being symbolic. So earlier this year, I did request the curriculum approval for all of this process. Frankly speaking, I feel the spring approval comes still a little bit late, and it leaves no opportunity for the public feedback. And in many government settings, educational proposals submitted for the board review a full year in advance. So maybe that's something we can think about that. Now circle back with 2.6. According to the research and also the parents' concerns from multiple years talk about using Lucy Calkins' unit of study. This is the real concern. And now I want to work with the board together and see how we can address this question.
So if
For
you
the
looked in the curriculum, that is just a resource, just like we have the science of reading resources in there as well. The curriculum is written to follow the New Jersey State Learning Standards.
Yeah, but using the unit of study is a concern. And some of the state DOE departments pay the schools to get rid of this curriculum, get rid of this program. And this is not, I believe this is not the board first time hearing about this. We understand the school starts next week, but this is not something, is aligned with the science of reading, and that should not be in the field. So as long as for the AP, new courses, seminars, Spanish 4, AP literacy composition, I don't have question, but for the literacy K to 4, it's very important. And this is, we all know by research, those are the careers, those are the critical time for the kids to learn literacy.
So what I'm hearing you say is that you wouldn't object to re-voting on the AP seminar, the Spanish 4, and the AP Lit and Composition, the new course and the 2 major revisions, but it's the Literacy K, Literacy Grade 1, Writing Only, Literacy Grade 2, Writing Only, Literacy 3, and Literacy Grade 4. So if not approved tonight, what would happen is it would revert to what we did last year, which does it have more of that units of study?
It does.
More Lucy Calkins
Correct.
and less science of reading.
It will be the unrevised curriculum.
Correct.
May I please make a statement?
Yes.
Thank you. I just need to say that I feel like we are really stepping on the toes of our educators, who we want them to work on curriculum on a very regular daily basis. This is work that they do, that they take very seriously, that they put at the forefront. They're not only in front of our students, but they're trying to give us the best curriculum that they can. This is their job that they're doing on a very regular basis. I'm not quite sure where we're coming from. Where is it indicated that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, that the children are not succeeding the way that they're supposed to succeed? Units of Study by Lucy Calkins is it's one facet of the literacy program. There's no perfect right way to teach literacy. You need to pull from all different resources, all different times. And what you want is an engaged faculty that is looking at the curriculum on a consistent basis and making adjustments and improvements as they go along. We are literally saying that we are not allowing our teachers to do their job.
So I think what we're trying to say, and probably the timing is not the most ideal, is that as board members, part of our function is to focus on curriculum and instruction. And I think we've been getting some limited data points on the topic, and I think it's fair to say that both sides have not fulfilled perhaps to the fullest. It would be nice to get a little bit more input around the work that's being done in the school. There's no lack of trust, it's just part of our roles and responsibilities, right? That's why we have ACI committee, that's why we want to oversee and want to feel confident and comfortable that the things that are happening, at least that we're listening to the educators and we're listening to what it is that we would like to see. You see how much we approve, how much financing goes into this. I think we need to have a little bit more give and take. I'm okay retracting my vote here. I understand the school is starting tomorrow, but we need to do a better job. And to your point, Ting, this is not going to be a rubber stamp anymore, right? We're going to be much more focused on the expectations of our school districts and results, right? I don't want to know how it's done. I just would like to see the outputs and outcomes and what's expected from the changes that the district is going to go and implement.
And has there been evidence that our district is failing in terms of what we're providing our students? That's the piece that I don't quite understand in terms of questions have been asked at ACI, questions have been answered at ACI, and again, we have time and time again the results of our students and the way that they're performing in class and the way that they're performing from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. So I'm just not clear in terms of where the board doesn't have trust in the performance of our students based on what they're being taught. Now, if there are individual, questions and comments that individual families or parents have about their student and their learning in the classroom, that needs to be addressed on that level with the student and the teacher and the parent. But on a board level, I'm not quite understanding where the district is saying that we are not well performed.
Yeah, I guess I'm not saying we're not. All I'm saying is that I'd like to have more information shared with me and not to just have an expectation that I'm going to say yes without some information, some insight, right? I have limited access to ACI. So when I come in here, I say yes to things I don't know I'm saying yes to, right? So perhaps we need to do a better job as well communicating what it is that we're changing in the school, how it's going to impact the district, and what, more importantly, what result we're expecting, right? We've been talking about this for a few years now, that we want to be result-based type of board, and not just at high-level test scores, but just in these discussions as we are learning about different aspects of curriculum, of policy. What results do we expect by implementing a policy or by making a change into our curriculum, right? Just a high-level understanding, right? Like Fiona just walked up and described exactly what's going to be changing and what the students can expect. I would appreciate if I could have that level of information, so when I say yes to AP seminar, at least I understand what the school is looking to deliver with that. That's my perception. We have very few functions on the board, right? Curriculum is one of them, so I would like to have a better understanding on the functions that I'm accountable for.
I also think that is college preparedness. I don't think it's just measured solely by SAT, ACT, or AP exams, but by the entire educational journey our student experienced here throughout the K-12. It kind of aligns with what I talked at the June's meeting, right? We judge the school play, but we can't judge the school play only by watching the dress rehearsal of the lead actor. It may look good from one angle, but we're missing the whole assembly, technical crew, and the full performance. So we've seen a lot of summative information shared at the last business meeting, but the whole, at least from the 6 ACI meetings that I participate in, I keep asking about what the growth model looks like, what the formative assessment looks like. I don't see that data. Maybe Michelle, you served on the committee much longer than me. Have you seen that longitudinal data in the past?
So specifically about the college placement, we've had presentations here that have shared our students get into, most if not all of the schools that they apply to. We've had students at the podium saying how well prepared they were through, going through our, I just don't understand where you're getting your data in terms of what we're not achieving and how we're not moving forward. That's the piece that I just can't reconcile. I understand wanting more information, and I think we have to ask more questions. That's certainly our duty, but I see no connection to where we're failing and why we are just assuming that we're failing or that we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. That really is upsetting to me because our role as a board is also to protect and to trust the teachers that we have hired in these positions to do their job. And I just don't see evidence of teachers not doing the best work that they could possibly do. Well,
I think the sleeping boat tonight really reflecting our different perspective. It can be rooted in our different beliefs, educational philosophy, and approaches to understand the student needs. But I believe we're all here with a shared purpose to support the success and well-being of our students.
absolutely.
When I click on this seminar, AP seminar, it gives me the details about what the course is about. But it would be interesting to know why we are introducing this one. Is there any colleges take this? Which colleges take this AP course?
So
And
this
give
was-
credit to kids, and how many school districts have used this, and what are the feel for that? It would be good to see that. Then it tells us, oh my God, this is a great AP course.
AP seminar is a very popular course throughout the country.
Very popular.
Extremely.
And it was presented at ACI.
Okay.
If the board would allow, I can make a motion to reopen public session and allow the director of curriculum to speak if she wants to speak.
And anyone else?
And anyone else.
So you need to make a motion,
Yes.
a second, and a vote.
Right. At this time, I'm entertaining a motion to reopen public session.
Second?
Probably moving second. Any questions? All those, roll call, please.
Dr. Wang?
Yes.
Ms. Dowling?
Yes.
Ms. Wheeler? Ms. Walker Jernigan? Ms. Dorgan?
Yes.
Mr. Todd?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Public session is now reopened.
Let me see if I can create some more confidence in what we're asking you to approve tonight. So several years ago, as you have noted, there were studies and questions that came out about the Lucy Calkins units of study. So at that time, we've dug into many things. So first of all, you look at your own student achievement. Where are our students placing? Are our students achieving what they need to achieve? We found areas that we wanted to improve. I can't even call them areas of weakness. They were not places that our children were not overwhelmingly successful, but places where we could have growth. We supplemented our curriculum by adding Hegarty into our primary grades, which is a phonemic awareness and a stronger phonics program. We've also instituted across grades K4 the Really Great Reading Company, which is a very explicit science of reading phonics program, and those are revisions that have been done in previous years. So if you go back to curriculum approvals in the 2022 and 23 school year and the 23-24 school year, those are the revisions that were made because yes, we absolutely take research seriously and we look at what is our best practice for our students. When we say that we have a resource that we keep in the units of, when you're looking at the atlas and you're looking at the programs that are, the units that are presented for you, and we keep a resource in there, it's because teachers are going to that for major themes of writing or major themes of reading. But it's not the strategies that are put in place in the classroom. Teachers still create those. And so the option would be to remove, which some districts did, sweeping removals of units of study and replace them with curriculum that is hundreds of thousands of dollars, and our data doesn't support that fiscal choice. So what our data supports was that our teachers would go to work to revise the curriculum and to make sure that the curriculum is not just here is a packaged material and we're going to teach it page by page, but that it's taught in a way that aligns to the outcomes identified by the state of New Jersey. That's what curriculum work is. And so our teachers worked with their K4 literacy and social studies supervisor, Dr. Amy Monaco, to make sure that they were prepared to go into curriculum writing. They consulted with experts, they consulted with me, and they worked to revise the curriculum. And so we look forward to being able to put this new curriculum in place so that our students can get a different and upgraded educational experience for this school year. So it's just at this point to not believe that your literacy specialists in the school district, and I know that that is the word that I'm using, this has been put in place so that we can be ready for September. And this is the past practice. We bring major revisions to you. This is what we're doing tonight, and I hope that you'll reconsider your vote for 2.6. I can stay if I need to stay. Okay. Thank you.
At this time, I'm entertaining.
Any other comments?
Any other questions, comments from the public?
Getting closed.
Hearing none?
Yep.
Public comments are now closed. At this time, I'll entertain a motion for 2.6.
So moved.
Somebody make the motion? What do you want with 2.6?
To reinstate the 2.6 for the approval.
Is there a second? It's been properly moved and seconded to reinstate 2.6. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, please, Mr. Taliano.
I have a question first, just because there was a lot of back and forth. Are we going to vote on 2.6 as is with all the items?
The question is, are we voting 2.6 in its entirety?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to clear the record. Thank you. Dr. Wang?
Yes.
Ms. Dowling?
Yes.
Ms. Spilak?
Yes.
Dr. Jernigan?
Yes.
Ms. Narcon?
Yes.
Mr. Todd?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you. Any other closing discussion from the board?
Sorry, I just wanted to piggyback on Ms. Borland's comments, which is to say that this is not a Montgomery district practice. This is a practice that I know of, across the country, in terms of having literacy specialists and in terms of having teachers come together and revise curriculum on a very regular basis. I just wanted to make that clear. Thanks.
And I have a suggestion. So maybe in the future, to avoid discussions and moments of, intense uncertainty, maybe it would be a good idea to have ACI session in August, so all those questions can be answered during the committee meeting. And also, if there are any curriculum changes, maybe it would be really good even for the public to have our director of curriculum come and do the presentation and inform the public of what is changing. That will give you peace of mind. Give us peace of mind.
Can I ask for a clarification on the 2.5? What information are you looking for from IDE as it is addressing our disproportionality that we have with the state of New Jersey?
So that would be the longitudinal data from previous years demonstrate the impact of this implementation. For example, student academic and behavior outcomes, early indicators of student growth.
That's very broad. I mean, this is a company who's doing professional development for our staff in order for us to fulfill our disproportionality with the state of New Jersey.
I can follow up with you via emails, like what specific data we're looking for. That would be helpful. Okay. And for Joanna's point about the timeline, I hope the curriculum approval can follow in the NJSBA's guideline in the future, and if possible happening in May. So then we have ACI committee, we have parents can react on that. I don't know if that's too much push, but again, we hope we can have a chance to talk about that, not just directly come here and vote and without much details.
All right, any other items?
I do have a discussion around for the appeal letter that the faculty sent. So again, back to that is we have about 20 higher education faculty members. They sent the board the email. They share some concerns about the math and science curriculum. So talking about the science, I just want to continue what they say in their letter. They say we cannot simultaneously claim students strong in math while removing the very structures that develop those strengths. This contradicts suggested policy misalignment that deserves closer scrutiny. These faculties also raised concerns about the science offerings. Physics 1 is now offered as an algebra-based course based on the program of studies description, which reduces rigor for students planning to pursue STEM majors, where calculus-based physics is the standard. They also know the district refusals to offer biology in grade 9 despite strong student demand as troubling example of the poor resource planning. As for IPELS, that's the integrated science offered at grade 9. Here they say, the continued use of the IPEL course is also problematic. Feedback from students and faculty alike suggests it does not deliver the depth or coherence needed to inspire or prepare future scientists. In fact, when IPELS was first instituted 4 years ago, teachers were never given the guidance how it differed from the previous year's physics class, and simply retaught the past material under a new banner that shows disconnect and communication gap between the board and teachers. And it also put teachers in a similar bind. Most powerfully, they state, we should be cultivating scientific curiosity, not rationing it. Saying we don't have enough teachers is an excuse, not a strategy. I wholeheartedly agree with them. These are not minor adjustments. I think they impact our student preparedness for college and beyond. College preparedness, as I mentioned, is not just solely measured by SAT or AP exams, but again, it's the entire educational journey they experience throughout the school here. And again, I look forward to continue work at the ACI committee with our schools and can come with some curriculum reflect both our student potentials and the high standards we owe them. Thank you.
Any other items? At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Been properly moved and second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say right. Abstentions? Thank you all.
Thank you.
And have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.